Let's talk about how to create tickets in Rev.io. There are several ways that you can create tickets in Rev.io. There are a couple of ways you can create a ticket right from a customer account. At the very top of the account, in these quick action buttons that you have along the top of the customer profile, there's a button to create a ticket. You can select that button. Or going down to the bottom section, the services and activity section of the account, and clicking on the tickets tab, there is a link here that you can add a ticket. Both of those links do the exact same thing. So when you press the ticket button, it opens up the ticket screen and you can start completing the ticket. The ticket status would start as open or new. This is the Rev.io ticket status and it's not customizable. You do have your custom ticket statuses that you set up and you can choose one of those if you'd like. And then your ticket type. This tells us what type of ticket it is so we know where to send it and how to work it. I'll select outage. And then you have your ticket step. You may know this at this time or you may not. If you don't know, if it's not in a step yet, you can just leave it blank. And then when you go back to work the ticket, you can select that later. You can assign it to a person right here, an individual who is set up in a ticketing group if you choose. You can assign it straight to the ticketing group, or you can leave it and you can have it assigned later when someone goes in to work the ticket view. If you need to copy anyone on this ticket, you can put in their email addresses here. You can just free type any email address you wish. The system, because we're creating this ticket right from the customer account, it automatically populates the customer number and the customer information. It'll tell you what bill profile they're on and their address automatically. You have to select a priority. We'll say this is high priority. And then it lets you select a customer contact. So if you have contacts created on this account that need to be notified on this ticket, you could select one of those people here. If you do select one, it will then auto-populate the contact phone number and the contact email. Primary service. This customer has multiple services at 2 different locations, so if this outage relates to one particular service, you can choose that service here. You can also leave it blank if it's just a general ticket that applies to the customer as a whole. Any additional services, you could choose those here as well. I'm just going to say it relates to this one service. It tells you the provider. If you had the provider information set up, you can select that provider and it will auto-populate the provider contact information that you configured earlier. So if you skipped those videos before and you want to know how to set these things up, you might want to review those videos as well. If your provider gave you a ticket number at any point that you want to track so that you can refer back to that when you're discussing it with your provider, you can enter that here. If you're forwarding this and you want to add a phone number or something here, you can do that. If you want to set a due date for this ticket, you can set that here. We'll say July 1st at 7:30 a.m. You can put a disposition code in here if you'd like. And you can add a dispatch field. We'll say it is inside, and you can select the dispatch location if you have those set up. And then you can put a description in here that will tell someone who's looking at the ticket what is going on with this. Customer is not able to call out. And then you can save this ticket. I have an additional field that's required. It's telling me. So that's going to tell me that I need to go to my additional fields, which is where any of my custom ticket fields are set up. And these are custom fields that I set up earlier. Tech required is a required field. So I'll say yes, a technician is required. I can fill out when the technician is sent and which technician was sent later on. So I'll save this, and I have a ticket created now. The other place that you could go to create a ticket is the same place that you view tickets. If you go to Activity and straight down to Tickets, here's your list of tickets in the system, and there's a button at the top to create ticket, and that will give you the same form that we just filled out on the customer. The only difference is it won't auto-populate the customer when you get to the customer information instead of it auto-populating. Because you're not creating the ticket from the customer account, you would have to type in the customer name here and then select it. So that's how you create a ticket in Rev.io on the customer account or from the activity tickets view. Thanks for watching.